Hi, this is Dawn. Welcome to the latest episode of From Dial Square to Where, the Arsenal Twitter podcast, which incidentally contains adult content which is definitely not suitable for young children. Please like and subscribe and leave a 5-star review, it really helps. Also, please be sure to visit the YouTube channel and subscribe to that. We have a brand new show, You Can Be the Star, the most interactive Arsenal show, where the twist is the viewer who entertains us the most on the night can join us live on the panel to air their opinions. We have great guests weekly. We've had Kevin Campbell, who was absolutely brilliant. That's still available to watch, and we also have more excellent guests lined up, which is very, very exciting. Thanks for listening.
All right, Treacle.
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Welcome to a new Crack of Dawn. How are you?
Yes, it's marvellous.
Bloody marvellous, are you?
Oh, bloody marvellous, yes. So I am.
Brilliant. Right, I've got a new idea for today. We'll probably end up being crap and embarrassing ourselves dramatically.
Well, I do that anyway, so I'm not very bothered.
No, same here. Well, remember Chris Moyles on The Breakfast Show on Radio 1?
Yes, I do.
Well, he had this game called Viaduct. Do you remember it?
I do, yes.
Explain it to me then.
Is it where he asked a question to Comedy Dave or whoever this was that he was asking the questions to? Then they ignored the first question, then he asked the second question, and then he answered the first answer.
Question.
Yes, with the first answer's question, blah blah blah.
That's right.
Didn't he also have a game where it was throwing something at the studio clock or something? And it had something to do with Don. Throwing something. I don't know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh. Okay, we'll just carry on with mine.
Isn't that on the new one? On his new programme, Radio X?
No, it was definitely on Radio 1 as well, I'm sure, because I heard it and I've never listened to Radio X, so...
No, but I saw... I haven't listened to Radio X, but I saw
think
a video on...
I think his whole team went with him anyway, so they probably do the same thing anyway, don't they?
Apart from Comedy Dave, because I think he shagged his missus or something.
Well, no, Chris Moyle shagged.
That's what I mean,
yes.
Yeah. Anyway, that might be allegedly. I just had the word allegedly because that might be slander.
It's not. I think it's full on truth.
If it allegedly is the truth.
All right, okay then.
Thank you. Anyway.
Fine, yes, whatever.
I really strongly doubt it.
Yes, anyway, back to Viaduct. But not Viaduct, because we're not... we're just a game similar to that.
It's very similar to Viaduct.
Almost
just following the same format.
Yes, okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Not stealing it at all.
Okay. Maybe we could do Timmy Mallet next week as well, then.
Himmy Mallets. No, Himmy Shallots. Whatever.
Yes.
Just so it sounds a bit like it, but it's nothing to do with it whatsoever.
Okay.
Okay, well, shall we have I'll tell you what, instead of doing a full run through of 10 questions, let's just have a short version of, say, 6 questions, just to practice.
6, okay, just to practice then.
Just to practice. Right. I'll ask you first then.
Okay.
But question 1. In which Dickens novel does Scrooge appear? Question 2. Which city in northeast Scotland is known as the Granite City? Question... Oh, you got to answer that.
Christmas Carol.
Who wrote Dracula?
Yorkshire.
Is that in northeast Scotland?
Oh,
I shouldn't really be dropping back and giving
well,
you a hand there, but it's
I
only
didn't
a
think-
practice.
Okay. Well, North East Scotland, North East Scotland, granite. Aberdeen.
I didn't tell you that at all.
No.
Who wrote Dracula? Sorry, that was the last. I've got this all wrong myself. No, this is the one you're answering now. You just answered question 2. On which Australian island is Hobart?
I can't really remember who wrote Dracula. My brain's just not with it. Bram Stoker, beg your pardon, that's it.
Which slang term was used to describe the high proof distilled spirits sold by bootleggers?
New Zealand.
Okay. Let's go through the answers. Who is...
Hooch.
Sorry.
Anyway, I think is that...
Moonshine.
Oh, is it moonshine? Yeah.
And Australian island is Tasmania, not New Zealand.
Oh, I thought you said... I thought you said Hobart.
Yeah, that's on Tasmania.
Oh, shit.
It's alright, don't worry.
I don't think this is
Anyway.
very good recording, to be quite honest.
Oh, it is. It's much better.
That's because I fucked up it.
I'll tell you what.
Like question 3 or something.
I think we've had enough of a practice. Let's go on to a proper one then. Let's start.
Can you not ask me some questions about something that I might know?
Okay.
Like,
Here's some.
okay. I might know. Well, you might know.
Right, let's start for proper then.
Okay.
10 questions.
10? Okay.
10.
Go on then.
Question 1. Which bone is the largest bone in the human body? Question 2. Sancho Panza is a fictional character in the novel.
Female.
The song Ding Dong the Witch is Dead features in which classic film?
Sancho Panza. Speedy Gonzales.
Politician Sarah Palin was governor of which American state from 2006 to 2009?
The Wizard of Oz.
Mount Etna is an active volcano on which island?
Arkansas.
The haka is a traditional war cry associated with the people of what country?
Pompeii.
Toothache pain can be soothed by using oil of what?
New Zealand.
Which activity involves jumping from a tall structure connected to a large elastic cord?
Clove oil.
In which type of bicycle in Victorian times had a large front wheel and a small rear wheel?
Bungee jump.
Which Polish electrician won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1983?
Penny farthing.
And what's Mount Etna's middle name? Just to finish it. Don't have to answer.
Nobel Peace Prize. Mother Teresa. I can't remember what the last question was, to be honest. But how did it
No
go?
worries. They were quite tough, I have to admit. I honestly think, I'm not just saying that.
Okay.
Right, let's go through the answers. Question 1. Which bones are largest in the human body? What did you say?
Femur.
Correct. Or thigh
Or
bone.
thigh bone. I actually went like that, look. Trying to remember what it was called.
I did that myself whilst I watched you do that.
Oh, how lovely.
Sancho Panza is a fictional character in the novel. It is
Not Speedy
Don
Gonzales.
Quixote.
Ho!
The song Ding Dong the Witch is Dead.
Ding dong,
From
the
the
witch
Wizard
is
of Oz.
dead, witch is witch, witch is witch.
Politician Sarah Palin was governor of Alaska.
No.
You said Pompeii.
I said Arkansas.
Oh, I think the next one you said Pompeii then. Mount Etna is an active volcano on which island? Sicily.
Which I think you'll find is Pompeii is in Sicily.
Is it?
Yeah,
No, it ain't.
it is. Pompeii was Mount Etna, it is, because that's where all the...
Oh well.
It is, because that's when the volcano erupted and all the frozen in, like the ashes are what's it?
Very well done. I don't know whether that's correct or not, but that sounds very positive.
I'm going to what's it now, just to be sure, but this is what we did. You know that model of the volcano I made for Kirby, because he was doing
Yeah.
thing on Pompeii.
Well, that'd be great if it was. What was the next question? The Hacker, New Zealand, yeah. Toothache pain, clove oil, that's right. Which activity involves jumping from a tall structure connected to an elastic cord? Bungee jumping, of course.
Oh no, bollocks, not Mount
Unicycle.
Etna.
What?
It was Mount Vesuvius.
Oh.
Bollocks.
Where's Mount Etna then? And the Polish electrician who won the Nobel Peace Prize was Lech Walesa.
Who? Walesa.
Yeah.
How many of those did he get? Because I was too busy looking to see.
Oh, I don't know.
About Pompeii and stuff.
I wasn't counting actually.
What did it say down towards
1,
on there?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's alright.
That's not bad.
I knew it was one of the thingies. I could have saw it was Etna because he did Mount Etna and Mount Vesuvius.
Where's Mount Etna?
I'm having a look now. Mount Etna is in.
I'm going to send the clip of this into the for an award.
Well, you just said that.
Just to get drunk.
Sicily, didn't you?
Yeah.
Da.
Mount Etna's where?
Mount Etna.
Yeah.
It's in Sicily. Italy. Vesuvius is in Italy, also in Pompeii.
But Etna's in Sicily.
Yes. I've just admitted I'm wrong. I just said, oh shit, it's in Vesuvius, didn't I?
Yeah, but it is in Sicily.
No, Vesuvius. Etna is in Sicily and Italy.
Oh, you said, yeah, of course, you said Pompeii's the answer and it's in Sicily.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I was wrong, so that's that.
Okay, but that was, well
either way,
fairly impressive knowledge either way.
Okay. I knew a little bit of something about volcanoes.
You did, yes.
Right.
Right. Answer some questions for me.
Oh, yes.
That'd be grand.
Yes, let's have a quick look, see if I can find some now, because I've just been dithering about looking at other stuff, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, let's go off there.
Scroll down.
Let's have a look
down.
there. Right then. Oh, scroll down. But that's it. Oh, okay. Right, question 1. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Which code features a series of dots and dashes? Question 2. Sam Weller is a fictional character in which Charles Dickens' book?
Morse code.
Haematology is a branch of medicine concerned with the study of what?
Quantum leap.
What was...
I know that's Sam Beckett, but I can't think of Sam Weller.
What was the former name of the Russian...
Oh, bollocks, I've forgotten that question already. Next one.
What was the former name of the Russian city of St. Petersburg?
The Belgians.
What was a Sopwith camel?
St. Petersburg. I don't know.
Which type of trousers worn for horse riding take their name from a city in India?
I'm absolutely shit at this. The Sopwith camel. What was it? Did you say? I can't remember. And I can't remember the question you just asked me again either. So I'm going to have the same issue. Turkey.
On which island was historical Frenchman Napoleon Bonaparte born?
Turkey.
In which US state was President Kennedy assassinated?
Turkey.
In medicine, what is hypertension?
Washington.
Which is the highest mountain in Africa?
High blood pressure.
And what's my little nickname for Rusty?
Kilimanjaro.
Oh. I think that was 10 anyway, baby Al. Because I had to start another water again. Right then, the first question I asked you was, which code features a series of dots and dashes. And you said Morse code, so that was right.
Our survey said.
Our survey said. Number 2, Sam Weller is a fictional character in which Charles Dickens' book? I did go down there, that's it. And the answer was Pickwick Papers.
Go!
Exactly. Right then, the third one, haematology.
What did I say?
Turkey.
No, I said the Belgians.
Oh, the Belgians, that's right,
Yeah.
yes. So that's 2. Then we had, what was the former name of the Russian city of St. Petersburg? This is when you started playing Turkey.
I said St. Petersburg.
Oh, that's right. Oh, you did say St. Peter, Leningrad. Then the next one, what was a Sopwith camel?
Turkey.
Yes.
What was
This
that?
was an early type of biplane.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And then, what type of trousers worn for horse riding take the name from a city in India?
Turkey.
Jodhpurs.
I knew that, but I couldn't remember the question.
I know. And then, of course, next question, on which island was historical Frenchman Napoleon Bonaparte born?
Turkey.
Or Corsica. So not too far away, really. Could have been Turkey, maybe.
Oh my God, I'm awful at this game.
In which US state was President Kennedy assassinated?
Washington.
Which? Nope, Texas.
Bollocks.
No. You'd have thought Washington because that's where the White House was.
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
you?
I did know it was Texas, but I couldn't remember that.
In medicine, what is hypertension?
High blood pressure. I'll put.
Yes, that is correct. And then the last one as well, about in which, no, it was, what is the highest mountain in Africa?
Kilimanjaro.
Which was correct. Well
Fantastic.
done.
I just lost it in the middle.
I know, it's easy to do, isn't it, when you're having a laugh or something, and then all of a sudden it's just, it's gone.
Exactly. Right, we'll have a short break. We'll come back shortly. Whether we play again or not is depending on whether I have a Mardy attack. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back.
Hello.
I'm not going to do that game again because I was quite frankly appalling.
Well, so am I, and we'll probably end up pulling out of the cells if we carry on.
I think I would.
Let alone each
I
other.
think I'd honestly just have to start looking at some
like
evening
Christmas Day
classes.
monopolies all come early.
I'll have to retake my GCSEs and all that sort of stuff.
Well,
Or I'll do some brain training at the very least. I'm going to talk about some, as this is the Arsenal Twitter podcast, I'm going to talk about some.
okay. That's
Well,
what I thought
at
I
least
was
one.
actually here for.
Well, exactly. I think it's, it's not going to be hilarious for you. However, there's going to be a TV programme, a behind-the-scenes docu-series, as it's called, and I hate that, by the way, when they merge two words into one, like Brexit or Brangelina or all that sort of stuff. Docu-series now. Why do they have to merge two words? Are people so bloody lazy that they can't say documentary series?
Docu-series. That's
Please
going to
don't.
be-
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
I always think they're a bit weird anyway, because it's supposed to be like living in the day in the life type of thing. However, you know you're being filmed, so maybe you're going to act slightly different.
Of course.
Anyway, aren't you?
Yeah.
Play up to the camera a little
There's
bit.
no such thing as like a true live program, like a.
Yes,
I
of
don't
course,
know.
they really are secret cameras.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll get away with that. Really.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
no, not real life, not cable guy. Oh, what's that film with Jim Carrey in it? I can't remember. But anyway, he was filmed his whole life without him knowing. He was born into this sweet TV series and he lived his life and it was being filmed.
I've never seen that.
It's really, well, it's quite good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't remember what it's called though.
I've never seen Forrest Gump either, though, so that's
Yeah,
not
no,
so
but
bad.
I mean, how you not seen it? It's one of my favourite films.
Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, anyway. Tottenham Hotspur. You know I love Tottenham Hotspur. I really do.
They're the arch nemesis.
They're the nemesis, yes. And they're going, I mean, just to give you a little bit of a background, over the last 4 or 5 years they've had this manager called, affectionately known as Poch.
Poch.
Mauricio Pochettino.
Oh, or Poch for short.
Poch. And he's supposed to have been the best thing ever since sliced bread. and they've had their best, I don't know, say 4 or 5 years under, ever for Tottenham. They've always been shy and always been in Arsenal's shadow, and they've started sort of getting cocky over the last 2 or 3 years because they've had, no success, not won a trophy at all.
Not like
they finished
Leicester
above
City or
Arsenal, and that's a trophy for them.
All right, okay.
Finishing above Arsenal.
But they didn't finish above Leicester though, did they? Oh no. Sorry,
they won't
on.
finish above Leicester this season either.
No, great.
But they've been absolutely shit this season. They've hit a brick wall. I can't be slanderous. So allegedly, one of the defenders has been shagging their best player, or one of their best players, and the captain found out and he punched the defender. So
did I miss something there? Say that again.
One of the Tottenham defenders
has been shagging one of the
I
other
don't
players.
know whether it's just purely anal sex or oral sex. I don't know.
Well, that doesn't matter, does it?
No, I was just being stupid.
Oh.
But yeah, he apparently been allegedly caught with his pants down with one of his teammates' wives.
Oh, with his wife, not with the actual.
Oh no.
That's where I was getting confused, because then when you were saying it might just be anal,
honestly,
that's generally what happens when you're shagging the. You know.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
So, it's not. It's how it came across better.
I know, but it makes it even funnier.
All right, I see.
Oh,
okay.
I just want to see all the Tottenham fans shagging each other. That'd be I'd actually don't want to see that.
Fans?
No.
That's what you just said.
Did I?
The Tottenham fans.
Players.
All right, okay.
Well, the Tottenham fans
probably
probably
do. I think this is getting
do.
a little bit out of hand.
I know. I think we should move on.
Yes, allegedly. What is the...
Right.
Yes, blah.
Anyway, they've hit a brick wall. No one wants to play for that team anymore. Everyone wants to leave. The manager even wants to leave. And they've
Why don't you all just go on strike and say fire us?
Exactly. Well, they should do. I know. I want them to carry on because it's very enjoyable watching.
Well, it'd be enjoyable watching this docu-series thing. Then,
they've agreed to this season. I don't know how long ago they agreed to it, but it could be absolute gold for Arsenal fans to watch this.
Could be like the Osborne show, where they follow their lives around and stuff.
Only better, because we'll just see this. I mean, they've just had a £1 billion stadium built as well. £1 billion, and they're literally playing like a relegation team, and it's just going to be amazing to watch.
£1 billion.
It went well over budget. All they bought it for is that their pint glasses can fill from the bottom up rather than the top down.
What?
Mm.
Oh, is that because it's got like a thing that squirts?
And all the
presses it down and
and all the fans
go,
oh, look at this, and then push their finger up the bottom and it pours out all over their laps and looks like they pissed their pants.
Where have I seen them before? They're not that new, really, are they? Where have I seen them? Anyway, carry on. I'll have
well, yeah, I mean, that's why they paid £1 billion.
Oh, well, they're cocksuckers, then, eh?
They are cocksuckers indeed. But I mean, it's just the fact that. I mean, there's an actual word that's been created because of Tottenham Hotspur, and that's Spursy. When you're quite promising, but you end up fucking it up all the time.
Oh, you're
that's
Spursy.
Being Spursy.
Mm.
And their chance to be on this TV programme. They could have done it last season when they actually got to the Champions League final.
Oh, well, yeah, when they had something to shout about. That's perhaps what they'll show, though. Perhaps they'll include this.
Well, they probably will, but this season...
Probably already done it, and
they're charting the club's journey this season.
Oh, right, I see.
So, if it wasn't Spurs, they would have done it last season on their best ever season.
Oh.
But because it's Spurs, they've even Spursies up this. And they're doing it this season just to give all our Arsenal fans a bit of pleasure.
Well,
so that's so lovely of them.
If it's going to give all the Arsenal fans a bit of pleasure, then that's great anyway, isn't it?
Honestly, if I actually watch telly, I'm going to have to watch that though, because I don't know, it's just going to be amazing. And there's a thing.
I beg your pardon.
You always drop something.
I know, it was on my lap, it just dropped off. So again, I beg your pardon.
But there's a. What was I going to say? Yeah, there's a thing called St. Totteringham's Day for Arsenal fans. And it's the point in the season where it's mathematically impossible for Tottenham to finish above Arsenal.
Right, I see. No matter how many games they play or points are still to get and games in
So say there's 4 games left, and that means there's a maximum of 12 points to play for, 3 points a game.
Right, yeah.
But we're 13 points ahead, for example.
Right.
So it's mathematically impossible for them to finish above us. So that becomes St Totteringham's Day.
Right. Do they have one for the Arsenal if that ever happens to them?
It's only happened for them the last 3 seasons, and that to them means that they are the best team now.
Oh.
And it's not the case because we finished above them about I literally can't remember, about 20 odd years every season, and they've just had the last 3 anyway. But this season, if we don't finish above them, I will.
Don't say anything silly.
No, I will eat. I'd eat.
Don't say one of my dogs either. I could see you looking around the room like, what can I say I'm going to eat?
I will eat a deep fried dog turd covered in breadcrumbs. In fact,
pretty rank. You better pack.
Allegedly.
You better pack your bags as well if you're going to do it like that. You're fucking.
That's how confident I am, though. Yeah. That we'll finish above them this season.
Yeah, let's just fucking hope they do now.
Let's fucking hope they do. Yes, indeed. If you could go behind the scenes anywhere, where would you go behind the scenes with a docu-series, if you will?
A docu-series. Well, if I could go anywhere, there is one place I could go. I don't know if I should actually talk about that on the radio, though. I know it's not the radio, but that's what I just like to call it. You know what I do?
What? Where's that?
I've just told you I don't want to talk about it.
Talk about it.
I think I perhaps won't, actually.
Why?
Well, just because. I think somewhere else. Hold up. Maybe.
You're not going there to film it. You just want to watch it on telly.
Yeah, no, that makes no difference whether I'm going to film it or watch it, because it's what's it. It's never going to happen. But I just don't want to talk about it because then everybody will know.
Just move on then. What else there?
There you go. That's what you see. You're the one who's
extended
it.
I know.
Right then, behind the scenes, I would like to maybe go behind. That'd be kind of like flying the wall, isn't it? Type of thing. Somebody who you maybe thought was a friend, but you knew they were kind of. I don't know. Or maybe. Can we just delete that bit out? Good, delete that bit out. Right, if I was going to go behind the scenes, I would probably like to go to somebody rich and famous house just to see. Dead or alive, did you say?
Anyone.
Well, yeah, a rich and famous person maybe, just to see how they live, how they really live when they're not being filmed or working or anything like that, whether they actually walk about the house in the sloppy tracksuit bottoms and pick the nose and let the dog eat it off the finger and stuff like that.
Prince Harry and
Meghan
or Buckingham Palace.
I wonder, now you come say that, I wonder if Meghan Markle, when she needs to fart, lifts her leg up a little bit like I do, if it needs to get out, it just needs that little slight lift.
Exactly. Does Harry just walk around in his dirty wife fronts scratching his
I doubt very much he ever had dirty wife fronts, babe, but
he might do. He might stay in bed for like 6 days.
I doubt that very much.
What about just the Queen wipe back to front or front to back when she's on the toilet?
Does she even wipe herself at all?
Well, it might be like coming to America, where the royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
You're what?
I know. I'm talking not about the Queen.
I'm going to say, how do you know she's better? Oh, the royal penis is queen.
Clean.
Oh,
not Queen.
Fucking hell, Jesus.
Does Prince Philip pluck his nasal hairs?
I doubt that very much. In fact, well.
In fact, I don't think he does, because his nasal hair is out of control.
We've not actually seen Prince Philip for a long time, have we? I think he's been quite poorly.
That's because he keeps rolling Range Rovers all over the roads down the country.
That could quite possibly be somebody doing that, trying to get rid of him, and after people that he's offended over the years as well, no doubt.
It could be because he's 98 and he still drives.
Yeah.
Stupid cunt.
Yeah.
I suppose. What
He's got
about
to be a definite Sunday driver, I'm sure of that.
Prince Andrew? I bet he watches porn on his own in his room.
Ew.
Like you could just see.
Probably gets his ex-wife Fergie around there to suck his toes and stuff as well. She
Yeah.
is, right, isn't she?
Is she?
Toe sucking. Yeah, who did she have an affair with? That started off
Fergie.
there. Yeah.
You're not thinking of Mick Hucknall, are you?
The what? What? Mick Hucknall?
Curly ginger hair.
No.
Well, Prince Andrew has been mooted, allegedly. It's being a bit the other way.
Well, maybe he is, but there's been something on about him doing something else to other people just lately as well. So maybe we'll just leave the
we'll
royal
move on from
family
Prince
alone.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
at least we can watch the corgis.
How did we even get onto the royal family? I said somebody famous, and you just moved directly onto the Queen and the royal
No,
family.
I did. I moved on to Harry and Meghan first.
Yeah, well,
Because they are famous.
they are famous, and I think I quite like those. And William and Kate, quite modern.
I reckon
aren't
they'd be
they?
well boring. Don't you reckon William and Kate would just sit there in the evenings and play?
They are like the
I don't
the
know,
older, more boring.
Trivial Pursuit or
Oh, what's wrong with you?
no? Well, the Genius Edition.
Well, probably, maybe.
What about other? I don't know. Other
The thing is, I probably wouldn't know the answers.
parlour
to-
games.
Parlour games.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't know the answers to the more common questions. Anyway,
No.
only the genius questions. That's the easy
I
answer.
bet they'll finish their dinner and then retire to the smoking chamber for a cigar and brandy, and just sit there perched on the edge of the seat, side saddle.
Well, they might do, but then again, Will's might dress up, mine is pair of stockings and sit there with, I don't know, his.
Whips, and asking for himself to be spanked. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I doubt it though.
I doubt it as well.
Anyway, this isn't football, is it really?
No, it's not. We've gone well off the track, haven't we?
We have indeed. But what I was going to say as well, and this is funnily enough, probably for the first time since we've been doing the Craic, it's actually got a serious subject,
Okay.
and that's all racism in the grounds, which is horrible.
I think it's absolutely disgusting.
It actually makes me feel really angry and sick. And England, you might have heard about all the news that the England team were really badly abused racially by Bulgaria. Yeah.
I don't watch or listen to anything, but I have actually heard that.
Well, they don't do nothing, so these fans just carry on. And the England match was played in front of a partially closed stadium anyway, because of previous racist issues from Bulgaria.
Who were the ones that were allowed in then if it was partially closed anyway?
They just closed a couple of sides of the ground, and that was it.
So they didn't think to stop people coming in there?
No, they allowed all the rest of the ground to be filled up, which is just ridiculous. And there's a group of people in there, and they're all wearing these black hoodies, and they had these slogans printed, and they were doing the Nazi salute, and just subjecting all the England black. And they had two black players themselves as a team. Anyway, I want to say, Arsenal used to have a player called Nicholas Bentner, and he was called Lord Bentner because he bought a bit of patch of land up in Scotland, which gave him a title of Lord. That's just completely irrelevant. But
Interesting fact though, nonetheless.
It was. But he had these pants that had a slogan on with Paddy Power, the betting, the bookmaker.
Oh right, yeah.
And because obviously he paid and I think he scored a goal, and he exposed his pants with Paddy Power on them.
Oh right, yeah.
Because obviously he got paid money to do that.
Yeah.
And he got fined more money than these countries get fined for all of this despicable racism.
Why? Because he was advertising something on the television.
Yeah, he weren't allowed to.
I think it's disgusting.
And it really does make, in this day and age. But the problem is, I've listened to a few more podcasts as well, and they spoke to this Bulgarian journalist, freelance journalist, and she openly said that most of the parliament and massive proportion of the country are racist. So what are you going to do? How can you get rid of this because it's not a football problem, obviously.
Well,
it's a society problem.
Obviously, it's taught, isn't it? It's a learned thing.
It's passed down, isn't it?
Of course it is, yeah.
It's not going to go until the youngest children learn not to do that, and how wrong it is, and all the people. It's just going to have to die out, I think. It's a generational thing.
Well, yeah, definitely.
I can't see any other way.
It's the same with lots of things. If you teach your children to be nasty and horrible to other kids and tell them what to say, then they're going to go and say it, aren't they? And they're going to be nasty and horrible to other kids. It's the same with lots of things with that.
I don't know what but I think obviously the football team, they should be kicked out because that was a qualifying match for next summer's European Championships.
Where's that being held?
Well, it's not actually being held in a specific country. They're just travelling around, and the semi-final and final are in Wembley. Or Wembley. But they should be kicked out of this qualifying campaign so they don't play next summer. For a start.
Might give the whole country time to.
And I think the next World Cup and all, personally, because it's not their first events. They've been doing it for ages, and their club sides have been doing it for ages as well.
Maybe they're just a bit behind in the times and stuff, if they're.
I think so. I think it's
kind of like
a deeply ingrained issue within the country, unfortunately, and no amount of education is going to change those people. If they get banned for another match, then those people just won't go to that next match, and they'll go to the next match instead. The same people. And there's no, and people say, well, you can't ban the whole team and affect all of their supporters because it's not 100% of their supporters that have caused the problems. It's only a smaller percentage, but I don't think that's they've got to be stronger than that now, I think, and it's just tough because it's not their first offence, and by pissing off their entire support, then so be it, as far as I'm concerned. They just have to be made an example of, because otherwise,
well, like you said, they can stop them all coming. Just like you say, ban the side then, don't you? Ban the team.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But then also it affects the supporters, because the they ain't going to qualify for next European Championships anyway. But that's why I think they should, because it's nearly the end of the qualifying campaign. That's not really a big punishment either, because they're not going to qualify anyway, really. So that's why I think they need to be banned from the World Cup as well, because I know it's hard to explain, but the European Championships are run by UEFA, which is the European governing body of football. Mm-hmm. World Cup is FIFA, which is the World
Federation
governing body, and they're two different companies in effect. So the offence didn't happen in the FIFA tour, under the FIFA jurisdiction, if you know what I mean. But they've got to just stand by UEFA, in my opinion, and just stand by them and say, well, we agree with your punishment and we do the same. And that's still not going to solve the issue, but it's going to be sending out a message, and hopefully people inside football stadiums will stop eventually doing this thing, because they know they're going to be affecting their team. But one last thing, I think it's open to a bit of abuse, because if a big group of racists want to disrupt another country or team, if it's not a nation, if it's just a normal team, then they could buy tickets for the other end, like the away end or the home end, and start creating havoc in there, and that would then maybe get their rival team kicked out of a tournament, for example.
Well, is that kind of similar to what happens to England every single time they go away? There's some kind of cup or something going on in another country. There's always some trouble, and it's always the English that get the blame for it, isn't it? So, kind of works.
We're not blameless.
No, I'm not saying we're not blameless. However, I'm not saying it's always us, is it? We just get labelled as the yobs and the fighters and what have you. Well,
what you
that other countries as well. Maybe we're just sticking up for ourselves.
Yeah, I know.
Which is not a bad
See,
thing.
the problem is we're still got racists in our own country.
Basically, what I think, it doesn't really matter what country you come from, what colour skin you've got. If you're an idiot, you're an idiot. So there's always some idiots that ruin it for everybody now, no matter where you're from. Unfortunately, isn't that it?
I think they're just going to have to kick out these nations. If England had become one of those nations at some point, because I know that we go to Germany and we do bad things, shout bad chants to the Germans as well about the war and all that sort of stuff, and it's very bad. And if it happens to England one day that we get kicked out, again, so be it. And I don't care how many teams they end up having to kick out of these tournaments. One day it will sink in. Hang on, we really can't do this no more because there's no football going on.
Yeah,
There's no teams available to play the bloody World Cup or the European Championships because they've all been banned because of twats like, these racists. So there's no easy way around it, but I think they're just going to have to. There's no other. The society issue is another thing altogether, because that's going to have to be taught from the youngest age in the youngest primary schools, and eventually.
Which a lot of schools these days. Anyway, I know at my son's school.
Well, yeah,
there's all different sorts of nationalities. It's the Church of England school, but they welcome everybody in. Everybody gets along. There's all different faiths and.
But not everyone's like us, though, are they?
Well, no, they're not. No, which is a shame.
Unfortunately, in Eastern Bloc countries, it's not going to be the same. But they've got to have to get their house in order, and we've got to do the same here and continue it here, because we still get racist problems in the English football stadiums. And when England go abroad, it's not so much the being racist or stuff like that we've got problems with. We've got problems with just bad behaviour and going into say Amsterdam, they're finding the Central Plaza in Amsterdam or wherever, place there is, and just set up camp for the week, basically taking over that part of the city, making it a no-go zone for anyone else, and just generally pissing in fountains and breaking
sitting
furniture.
outside the pubs waiting for women to come by, shouting things like, "You're in the black, show us your twats,"
Exactly,
type of thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
How I miss those days. Sorry.
Exactly. Those were the days. Such fun.
Just kidding.
I know. Well, not really. But anyway, that was very, very serious for us.
Yes.
But it is worth talking about because it's a problem that I hate, to be perfectly honest.
Yes.
I can't.
Well, I'd just like to give my view on the thing. What I always say is, I can't understand why people are, because if we were all the same, it would be very, very boring. If we all looked the same and dressed the same and had the same colour skins and did exactly the same thing, there'd be nothing to talk about.
However,
nobody would ever be different.
You cut yourself open and you are all the same.
Exactly. And we are, after all citizens of the world.
Do you know what this is going to sound really stupid, but I've actually think it might work. Say for one day, right, 2 football teams enter the pitch to play. Mm-hmm. Say for argument's sake, there's on each team 6 black players, 5 white players.
Right.
What do you think would be a massive, massive statement, and it would be news right across the world, if when they entered the pitch, all the white players had been used makeup, make themselves black. All the black players had the makeup to make themselves white. The point being that they would play the same. They're the same player. Mm-hmm. They look a bit different. However, Cristiano Ronaldo, who is on one of the teams, even though he's painted himself black,
it would still be
he's still Cristiano Ronaldo. And he still plays the same. He still scores the goals. Well, whatever.
See, that works both ways as well.
Exactly, but the point being, it doesn't matter what colour your skin is. if you're a footballer, you're a footballer. You know, this is just basically a football point of view, and not society. I just think it would make massive statements, or not painting themselves the opposite colour. If they just all the white players painted themselves black, or if the black players painted themselves white, it's just to prove a point that everyone's the same.
Well, it is, but in the world of football and racism and all that, some of the football players, some of the fans, I beg your pardon, even insult and their own players on their own team. So that's it's what I'm just saying about, if you're a twat, you're a twat. It doesn't matter. You're just there to cause trouble.
But isn't that I can't really explain it, but when you say the home fans even abuse their own players sometimes, which is true, and there's been examples of that in England this season. Vile abuse on Twitter from Man United fans for one of their players missing a penalty. Same with Chelsea earlier on in the season. One of their own players missed a penalty. He got violent abuse from his own fans. Now, if the point being, really, like I said, if they did that, something similar, and they continually abuse, would they abuse a white player who painted themselves black? Would they abuse that person as racially, for example?
Well, yeah, probably.
Would it be that stupid?
They probably won't.
The last thing I'll say on this subject, I think I'll say on this, even obviously whether you want to say anything else. The last thing I'll say, the only thing I can think of as well, which has been discussed, in fact, it was discussed back in the 1980s, it was vehemently,
probably around the same time I went to see Shakin' Stevens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
An ID card so that you can be exactly identified with, you've proven your name, address, everything, and they know exactly where you're standing, and you can be pinpointed on CCTV.
I'm surprised they don't do that anyway, because if you remember when we went down to London in the pub, we couldn't go in the pub because we didn't have his ID with us after like the bombings and everything in the London. And then when we went to go in the pub, we had to show them our ID so they knew who was in there and everything. I'm surprised they don't do that at football matches anyway.
Well,
in all honesty, because
technically in lots of
things
places
like
they do because of the season tickets.
If you wanted to go and cause disruption, like at a gig or a concert or a football match or any type of thing where there's lots and lots of people there, so I'm really surprised that they don't actually have the ID already.
The thing is, with
obviously like buying
tickets,
and selling tickets, isn't it?
Exactly, season tickets doesn't work because if you can't make it that week, you can sell your season ticket. You can sell your ticket for that game.
Well, then maybe the person of the season ticket can say, "Well, I've sold it to this person."
Well, anyone can say that, though, can't they? It's open to abuse.
Well,
but if you get scanned when you go in with an actual separate ID card. But people keep saying stupid things like, well, it's like Big Brother watching you every day. You every walk.
No, it's kind
but
of
if you've got nothing to hide,
but
you've got nothing to hide. You've got nothing to worry about at the end of the day. I'm sorry, but that's the case.
Unless, of course, you've got like you ate for weed down your sock or something. But apart from that, then it's nothing else to hide.
Ate for weed. Well, yeah. But anyway, I think there's no easy answer for this, but. The problem is it's not I don't think it's a specifically football thing. I think these far right-wing fascist group.
Morons in every walk of life, isn't it? Not just football.
Yeah, well, but it's such an easy place to vent your anger at a football match. Scream, shout, really let yourself go, and not get too much notice in lots of cases.
Not me. I fall asleep at the loudest ever Chelsea Leicester game.
But you know what I mean? When Millwall were at their worst, I used to, long story, my two brother-in-laws were Millwall fans. When I was a kid, I used to go to some of their matches with them, and the biggest sort of, at the height of all the violence in the 80s, a lot of the Millwall fans that were arrested and got into trouble or whatever, they were high-profile businessmen, solicitors, accountants, bankers, and all that sort of stuff. the thing is, they...
A bit like Fight Club.
Well, yeah, it's just a different life for them. It's a way of releasing a hell of a lot of steam and pent-up anger and frustration, and be a different person to what you are in your everyday,
just enjoying,
I suppose, boring life.
Well, yeah,
in lots of cases. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. And it's a way of it's just releasing their other side to them. And the thing is, football is an easy place to go to do that. And if you want to, if you are a well-to-do businessman or whatever, and you've got a different side to you, you just want to literally go out on a weekend and have a fight, glass someone, whatever, you go down football.
Well, don't do it like at the...
That's what happened in the 80s.
Well, in the 80s probably, but now...
Not now, but...
I think football-wise, they
call
everybody up on the mobile phones and go meet it somewhere before the game or something, don't they? What?
Yeah, but...
so I've been told.
But the thing
I've been told, allegedly.
I think these racist groups, they will just arrange to meet at a football match to show off their stupid beliefs. So it's not specifically related to football, and that's the problem. And they'll just attach themselves to the club for the purpose of all being there at the same time and get a lot of publicity. So anyway, I suppose we'll leave it there.
I suppose so, yeah, because it's one of those that
we could go on forever.
It could go on forever, and we're not going to solve anything. Unfortunately, it just need to educate people.
Yeah, it's a horrible thing. I hate it, and I've been teaching the kids, and as I know you have, right, from when they can first understand what I'm talking about to not be like that, and everyone's the same. Doesn't matter what colour you are, where you come from. If you're a nice person, you're a nice person. If you're a cunt, you're a cunt. That's what it doesn't matter what your background is. We're all the same inside. We've all got different personalities.
My son's best friend's an Indian boy, and he's a lovely lad. His family's lovely, and the mentioned colour of his skin or his religion never even come up in the thing. It's just, can my friend come around to play? Yeah, sure he can.
We've got to give a lot of hope that the one good thing to come out of today's society, although there's a lot of bad things about it, with going the other way, far too stupid things that I don't agree with, but the good thing is that we're all a lot more accommodating and open with how people are, with whether it's the LGBT community, blacks, whatever your sexuality, whatever colour your skin, everyone's a bit more...
Whatever your gender, no, let's not go that one.
And I'm talking about kids.
Oh, kids, yeah.
At an early age, this is what they're learning now. And that is the good side of it all. And I just hope that racism and all that
should really...
hopefully does not become a problem in future generations anyway.
Well, yeah, but you say that's what they're talking about now. This already should be learned, really, shouldn't it? About the different colours of skin and different religions and people's beliefs and their gods and their whatever and this, that and the other. And now we're moving on to gender. My son's not actually my son, it's just a thing because it doesn't want to be classed as a boy or a girl, and that's what people are more concerned about now.
I could go on about that for another hour.
Well, I know, let's leave it there then.
Exactly, that's the... it's just gone... That's what I meant about going too far the other way.
I know, yeah. But have we got... Oh,
go on.
I was going to say, have we got any birthdays to end on a lighter note, maybe?
Do you know what? I'm going to have to add them into the next episode, I'm afraid, because
we're all ready.
No, not that. I just haven't got them together, unfortunately. I forgot.
Oh, right.
Well, I'm not going to make up any excuses. I forgot to do that this week.
Oh.
So.
Don't we know anybody whose birthday it has been?
Mine, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday to you then, 2 weeks ago. That was good.
I can't even at least get an happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. You went to the zoo. You look like a monkey and you smell like one too.
Oh, thank you. That's so
How
lovely.
old are you today? How old are you today? Now, if there was somebody else here, we could give you the bumps, but I'm not trying, no.
Thank you. That's lovely.
How about a birthday joke?
Go on. Go on then.
Right then, let's have a look then. Oh,
what do you actually? I've just got one coming to my head. What do you call the bit in a Nando's restaurant that is in between the counter and the front door?
Oh, I couldn't.
The perineum.
Oh. Where the hell did you see that one? What's the difference between a pregnant woman and a light bulb?
Well, the shape's about the same.
You can unscrew a light bulb.
Oh, there you go. That's actually.
What do a penis and a Rubik's Cube have in common?
Well, if it's the same sort of blotchy colours, you've got a serious issue. But
the more you play with it, the harder it gets. And last one, what's the difference? Oh no, perhaps let's not do that one.
Oh, I love one.
I'll do this one. What do you call a lesbian dinosaur?
I don't know.
Lickalotopus.
Oh.
Ah,
Very good.
Yes.
Right,
On that note then.
Thank you very much again for listening. If you want to get in touch with the show, email fromdialsquare@gmail.com. You can tweet me at fromdialsquare. What's your tweet?
You can tweet me as well. Not that actually go on Twitter, but I'll have a look just in case. It's at Craic of Dawn.
Great. Thank you very much for your immense input again, Dawn.
Well.
Been most impressive.
Well, thanks very much.
Good.
I don't really see that. That's right, myself. But thanks anyway. Thanks for
we're going to
coming
go quickly
I'll just take over.
Candy's
Bye-bye.
about to bark her head off to go out.
Here she goes.
Go on,
Yes,
here we go,
saying
Candy.
bye-bye.
She wants to be a part of the podcast.
She's saying bye-bye.
See you next week. Thank you very much for listening.
Bye.
Subscribe on YouTube as well. Bye-bye.
Thanks very much for listening. We really do appreciate each and every one of you. We really need your help to spread the word about From Dial Square to Where, so if you haven't done so already, please give us a 5-star review on iTunes and Spotify. Subscribe to the From Dial Square to Where YouTube channel and hit the notification button so you never miss a live show. And finally, please tune in to the live shows. Don't forget, you can get the chance every week to be the star alongside Andrew and his great guests just for being the most entertaining viewer on the night. Thanks again and see you on the next episode. Bye!